What's up? I'm trying out some new videos. This is the new Unrested ASMR, because if there was ever a good channel about sleep and ASMR, it would be the name Unrested. No, I'm not changing the channel. Or am I? That's right. My new channel is nothing but Let's Plays now. And the only game that I'm going to do Let's Plays on are not Minecraft like a lot of other channels. I'm only going to do the Nintendo DS game Mean Girls. Okay? So this is just going to be a Mean Girls Let's Play channel from now on. I hope you guys don't mind the big change. Those of you that are my most loyal fans will stick with me. I'm falling in love with a new passion, and that passion is Mean Girls for the Nintendo DS. Guys, if you don't stick with me, you're just not really loyal Unrested fans. I'm lying. Maybe I'm not lying. Maybe I'm being sarcastic. Maybe I'm joking. That's what it is, joking. Let's go with joking because it sounds better. It's better for my rapport with my audience. Where have I been? Well, I died. That's what happened. I was also in an accident and got horribly injured, and I died after, but I got better because here I am again, right? If a YouTuber goes away for more than a week, he's most likely dead, or she is most likely dead. Assume they are dead, but just like Jesus, we are reborn. Where are you going with this, Scott? What is this train of thought? So many questions. So many questions. I should have called this show JFAC. Oh, I did. I did call it JFAC. But I don't want to just keep answering questions about Japan. I think sometimes that's what turns me off a lot from making videos, is the fact that I'm stuck of Japan-only content. And it drives me insane sometimes. Why don't you walk down the street in Japan? Why don't you take more pictures outside and walk down the street in Japan and show us Japan? Show us Japan!
Show us Japan!
Show us Japan! Because that's my everyday life, and after a while it gets monotonous and boring. Is that okay? Can I say that? Can I say that? I thought you loved Japan. I do love Japan, but I don't need to record it every goddamn second.
I'm having a bit of a moment.
What am I even making a video about at this point? Okay, the biggest question that I've gotten recently is commentary stuff. Like, people wanted me to do commentaries on things. And I always feel like if I even slightly stray from the path that is my channel of Japanese content, people get angry. They get enraged. People get angry. They get enraged. People get angry. People get angry. They get enraged. People get angry. People get angry. They get enraged. They unsubscribe. No views. I don't care anymore though. They get enraged. They unsubscribe. No views. YouTube has become garbage. There is unsubscribing even if I make no views. Subscribing even if I make they unsubscribe. YouTube unsubscribes me, so what's the point of worrying about that stuff anymore? A video that people like and are subscribed to and subscribe because of that video, I don't care anymore though. YouTube has become garbage. I don't care anymore though. YouTube has become garbage. Views don't work anymore either, because either, number one, I've had views deleted from videos that I've made where I've seen like 1,000 suddenly disappear. They unsubscribe! Or views just don't come in as much as they used to, because that's how YouTube's algorithms work. There is unsubscribing even if I make no views! You are the low man on the totem pole. And I am the totem that ties every one of you to this existence on Earth. That's important. At least it sounds important. That's important. At least it sounds important. There is unsubscribing even if I make no views! You are the low man on the totem pole. Fucking listen to me. God. Where am I going with this train of thought? ADD is a hell of a thing. Commentary. What did they want commentary on, Scott? That's what... Good lord. Most ADD commentary I've ever seen. The Daddy 5-0? Is it 5-0 Daddy? 5-0 Daddy? Daddy 5-0? Daddy 5-0? Daddy 05? Daddy 05. Is that what it's called? It's something like that. I watched it because I like Philip DeFranco. I do like him. I think he does a bang-up job. I watched it because of Keemstar. I watched it because of Scars.
I watched it because I'm a YouTuber and I keep up with YouTube. I do enjoy YouTube, even though I haven't made that many videos recently because YouTube is garbage. I don't think the content creators are garbage. I think the company and the people that run YouTube do a garbage job. You know, you're welcome to disagree with that. If you are a content creator like me, I think you probably agree with me. YouTube is horrible at what they do. They're not very good at managing this company, their content creators, or even having any sort of communication for that matter. I'm not even talking about the money thing. I don't care. I've never really cared about the money I make on YouTube. It's never been important to me. Never been an issue. I don't make any money now. I gotta go back and get a real job. Oh wait, I own my own company. Fuck YouTube. This Daddy50 guy, he's this dude who does prank videos. First of all, I fucking hate prank videos because 99.9.99999
3 hours later.
forever, 9 to infinity, 9 continuing on forever, of those prank videos are fake as F. I don't want to say fuck because that'll make my video unmonetized. I'll be advertiser unfriendly. So don't say fuck and keep your videos clean, guys, okay? Take it from me. I've been doing this for 10 years. I am a professional, okay? A professional! Respect me that way. This guy makes these prank videos where they prank their own kids. Like, even just that sentence stops me right there and makes me think, WTF, you prank your own kids. Mutual consent from adults who know they're going to be put in a constant environment. Like, people yelled at Sam Pepper that he pranked his friends and stuff with the, my best friend pretending to kill my best friend video. Those people know they're in that environment. I did not feel outraged at all by that video, whether it be real or fake, because the guys who work with Sam Pepper, they know that that's going to be constantly their life. If you're in that environment all the time, you're kind of somewhat normalized to what happens. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying, everybody should put people in traumatizing situations all the time. But I am saying there are people who put themselves in those situations and are expecting it. Okay? Children are not one of those people. Okay? And children shouldn't be pranked. You can do silly pranks to kids, like kid-level pranks. For example, Jimmy Kimmel does a great job of saying, I ate all your Halloween candy, and then after you tell them it's a prank, that's funny. You've merely jeopardized the state of their candy. Okay? After they find out you're joking and they still have the candy, they're probably actually kind of relieved and they think it's funny. Now, something you don't do is pretend something's broken or spilled or destroyed in your house that your kids know they can get in a lot of trouble for. With this family, it seems like they may even get in physical trouble, as in hit for punishment, and threaten them with that as a prank. That's where you ethically cross the line. And as much as you want to say, yo, it's just a prank, bro, and they literally say that to their own kids in the video, which just shows me their level of maturity, shows me you have no concept of how a kid's mind develops, okay? You can tell another person it's just a prank, bro, if they are close to your same age or at the very least your peer. They may be mad at first, but once they realize they're kind of being silly because it was actually just a joke, they calm down, all right? Because once they know there's not the actual threat or the actual problem that they thought was happening, they calm down, all right? You can't switch kids' emotions like that, okay? Their brain's not fully formed, their emotions are not fully matured. You can't keep doing that. It reminds me of my friend, let's call him Jake. Okay, he's a good guy now, but he had a little bit of a crazy childhood. And I remember Jake used to do this thing with his dog. He was 11 years old, give the kid a break, he was only 11, where he'd do something where he'd be like throwing a ball and his dog would go get it and he'd be like, go get the ball, go get the ball, go get the ball, bad dog, bad dog. And like he thought that was so funny to do. His dog would go and do something nice and bring it back, and then he would say bad dog, and then he would laugh about it and we'd be like, yo, Jake, this isn't cool, this is kind of crazy, dude, your dog's gonna be traumatized by this. And he'd be like, but isn't it funny how confused he looks? Now if we talk to Jake about that, we're like, yo, dude, remember when you used to do that? Yeah, he's like, yeah, I was a fucked up kid, all right? I was a fucked up kid. He realizes that. Now, mind you, Jake was 11 when he was doing this, okay? He had an excuse. He was a child and had the mind of a child. He was not even a teenager. This is a grown man treating his family in the same way that this kid treated a dog, okay? He's telling them, oh, it's just a prank, bro. You should just be happy we made a funny video, but also yelling at them at the same time, okay? This makes so many confused feelings in the developmental mind, body, and emotional growth through a child's life that it's just unimaginable how these kids must suffer from this kind of parenting. The guy says, we never beat our kids, we never hit our kids, yet there is a video out there where he's pushed a kid into a table. Now, mind you, some of you might say, yeah, he pushed the kid, and the kid tripped, maybe fell and hit his head on the table or whatever. The fact that you would have even put the kid in that situation to begin with, where you pushed him in an area where he could hit his head, shows me how much you don't understand how to take care of kids. Okay, let me just give you an idea of how I set things up in my school for kids, okay? I set it up in a way where I know they won't bump their heads on tables, and tables that I know that are kids level high, I cover in soft material. Like literally I buy these soft corners that go on the side. But for the rest of the time, I buy this. Here, I'll show you. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise as I move things. I buy rounded edge tables. I don't know if you can tell it that's a rounded edge, but it's a rounded edge. And I literally buy that because kids always bump their head. If there's a chance for them to do it, if there's a place or a chance or somewhere a kid can get injured, you make sure they can't. You imagine they already will try to do it. If you take a look over here, all right? I'm going to go off of the green screen for a second, and we're going to show you over here, all right? Over here, can you see, there. I got my scissors way far back on my desk, all right? Why? Why, Scott? Why you got your scissors so far back? That's hard to reach. Yes, it's hard to reach. It's hard to reach for kids, actually. Kids will try to reach scissors, and kids will try to do stuff with scissors that just doesn't make sense. Why would you cut your own finger with scissors? There's no point in asking a kid why they did that. They did it because I wanted to see what would happen, okay? I've seen kids do crazy stuff, and when you ask them why, they're just like, I wanted to see what would happen. They're curious, they're learning, their mind's still growing. And if they don't know what will happen, they might try to find out, even if that final, I guess, gratification that comes from finding out what happened is dangerous to them. Why did you stick your hand in the oven? I want to see how it felt when it turned red like that. Oh, it burnt the fuck out of my hand. Now I know. I won't do it anymore. I was a kid. I hadn't done that yet because I barely lived. Okay? I remember the first time my mom taught me how to iron. All right? I burned myself. And I burned myself because I was a dumb kid. All right? I started to iron, and I ironed with the iron going towards me. And you know how irons like come to a point, right? I didn't even realize, like, as I was ironing, that every time the point was like coming like 2 inches from my chest, and eventually at some point the tip touched my chest. I was like, ah, okay. And then after that, I learned how to iron away from me. Yay, I did it. I you know. But my mom didn't put me in a situation where she was like, yo, I hope you injure yourself with this. She was there right next to me trying to help me, teach me how to iron for the first time. She wasn't just like, yo, here's a hot iron, figure it out, boy. Ah! That's pretty much what these parents are doing. They're putting them into situations where they expect their kids to figure out, yo, it's just a prank, bro. Why can't you just chill? And that's not cool. You shouldn't put kids through stuff like this. Kids' minds are not ready for these situations that these adults have put them in. Now, there's even a bigger story beyond with this Daddy 5-0 situation where apparently, like, he has taken the kids from their actual guardian, which... or their actual mom. I'm not sure. It's a bit wishy-washy when I hear the facts on it. It doesn't sound 100% legit, but it doesn't sound 100% fake either, so it might be real. If he's taken these kids from their original guardian, either one or two things have happened. The court system has completely failed a really good guardian, or number two, that guardian is even worse than this guy, which is really scary to think about. The mom who's there too, she's just garbage people too. I mean, the way she treats those kids and yells at them, you know, and they talk about like, we're just yelling at them because we want to act along and pretend like this prank is real for a short time. When you yell at kids like that, later in their life, they don't separate and be like, oh yeah, mom was really angry and like really freaked me out and scared me that time. But later she said it was just a prank. So I'm not traumatized by that. I'm telling myself that now that I'm not traumatized. It doesn't work like that. All right. The sudden fear that a kid feels for being yelled at and being punished usually should be connected to an actual punishment. It's so they connect it to that punishment and don't do that thing again, either because it might hurt them or it might hurt their life or it might make their life end up in a poor situation. For example, bad grades, okay? These parents are doing things that do not help improve the child's life by yelling at them. They yell at them and then say, it's just a prank, bro, we were joking, you're not really in trouble. That doesn't improve your kid's life. That just makes them not trust anybody for what they're doing. Oh, I don't know, should I really listen to this person if they're yelling at me? It may just be a prank, bro. That doesn't prepare your kid for real life. Real life is not a constant series of pranks where your punishment ends up that someone was just JKing, dude. Chill. So I don't see any benefit to any of this. The only benefit I see is that the parents are making probably a ton of money off of the million views that they get from these videos. They're probably making a ton of money off the controversy that us stupid YouTubers are making of it right now. And that's why I'm not going to like put any of their stuff in my video. I'm not going to make a link to their channel. It's bad enough already that I'm talking about it. The main reason I'm doing a commentary on it is because I got asked this a lot. And if you're wondering, you're probably like, Scott, why did people ask you? If you don't know, I have 2 kids. I have 2 boys. I'm a father of a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old.
So I think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to kids. Duh.
And I own an international kindergarten too. So maybe I know a little bit about the childhood's developments. I'm gonna wipe the spit off my face so I don't actually look like a child. I just talk about children. ADD is a hell of a thing. This is me. This is kind of like just me, totally uncensored talking to you. I feel like from here on out, I'm just going to do videos scattershot like this. Commentary on anything I want. I don't care. If it is Japan related, and it probably will be, there will be stuff I'll talk about Japan. For example, I need to talk about this whole North Korea thing. What's that baby with a grenade doing? Big old chubby Kim Jong-un with that grenade in his hand. You big old baby. You put that thing down. Bad baby. Other than that, I'm going to sign off for now. This video has gone on long enough. I hope this satiates your questions that you had as far as my opinion on the commentary of this Daddy 5.0 or Daddy 05 or whatever the hell the situation is. And until next time, I'm Unrested with the questions you requested. From here on out, let's just do it chill. People get enraged. People get enraged. People get angry. People get angry. They get enraged. People get angry. People get angry. They get enraged. They unsubscribe. No views. I don't care anymore though.